Welcome to Fabric Monday. Today we'll talk about business events in Microsoft Fabric. Let's understand what this is. Let's understand what is a business event. A business event is like a schema. Like if we were defining a table. We create a schema definition, a table definition. This is the business event. Once we create this schema can be triggered from many parts of our system. A pipeline can trigger, a notebook can trigger, an event stream can trigger, many parts of the system can trigger a business event. Mind how these parts I mentioned are ingestion points. Ingestion transformation points can identify that a business event is happening and can trigger this business event. So the business event will be triggered by this point. The business event itself is recorded. It's recorded in an event house. An event house records the happening of the business event. In this way, we can query how the business event happened. But the business event can also trigger actions. Actions will be triggered by the business event. Alerts, notifications, pipeline executions, notebook executions, and many more kinds of action. In this way, the business event is a fact happening on the business, and we can trigger actions from this fact. We define the fact, the business event, we trigger this fact in the middle of our ingestion pipelines, and then we can link actions. We can define how our system reacts to the happening of this business event. This is a different method of building. When we think about building a scenario with the trigger of an action, we think directly about triggering the action from the ingestion. We can trigger the action from the ingestion, of course we can. But this scenario makes the architecture of the business event more flexible. By reducing the coupling of the business event with the ingestion pipeline. Let's imagine, if I trigger the business event directly from the pipeline, the ingestion pipeline, this creates a high coupling. So the action is linked directly with the ingestion pipeline. The business event is one, X happened. But the action that I will take according to that may be different. Today is one action, tomorrow I decide to take another action. And if I need to change the action, with the high coupling I need to touch the pipeline itself, and that's not a good idea. If we use the business event architecture, the pipelines trigger the business event as something that happens. And we can define the actions to be taken from that business event at any moment. We can change the action, we can redirect the action, we can redefine this at any moment. Let's see how the business events work. Here we can see my workspace. I have a lake house in this workspace. I use this lake house as an example to demonstrate a business event. Let's take a look on the lake house. In the lake house, I have one table, fact sale, and one target, fact source. Let's focus on the fact source. I'll be loading records inside this fact source. The records I'll be loading are in these folders. In this way, I can simulate the process of loading records many times. Let's get back to the workspace. Let's create a business event. To create a business event, we go to the real-time hub. In the real-time hub, we see the option business events, which is still in preview. Let's create a new business event. The business event requires a schema. I need to make a schema definition. I can either create the business event based on an existing schema or on a new schema. Let's make a new schema definition. Make a new schema definition. The name I give to the schema definition becomes the name of the event itself. So let's define the name, event schema name, high quantity order. So we use this event schema to report occurrence of orders with a high amount of products. This is a special business occurrence, a special business event. I need to define the fields one by one. This add row is in fact add a row on the definition, add a field on the definition of the business event. Let's start defining the fields. Add row. So specify the type of the information. The first field will be string. The name of the field will be sale key. Add another row. Invoice ID. And then I'll continue with the rest. Let's do it faster. And here it is. I have a definition of the business event. Now I need to save this business event. We save it inside the schema set. Let's create a new schema set. Schema set name. Let's call it sales events. I'll save in my workspace business event. Next, it asks me about the event house. The business event can immediately track what is happening in an event house. If I uncheck this box, I will not have an event house. The data of the business event will not be saved, but I can track it in an event house. Let's create a new event house for that. Business house. Next. In this way, the wizard is prepared to create the business event. Let's create it. Our business event is created. We can see the business event here in the real-time hub. High quantity order detected. Back to the workspace. We can see the event house created to get the business event, to capture the business event, and you see the event schema set created to store the definition of the business event. Let's take a look on the schema set. This is the definition we created. Mind that is version. The event has a version definition. Let's close. Let's take a look on the event house. Let's go to the database. Inside the event house database, we can already see the table created. Created to receive the occurrence of this event, high quantity order detected. And we can check the data streams and we see a data stream being captured. This data stream is intended to ingest inside the event house our occurrence of our business event. So every time our business event happens, it will be captured in the event house. Here we can see a simple notebook. What this notebook does is to ingest data from one folder into one table into the lakehouse. This is trivial, there is nothing new on this. What is new in this notebook is that during the process it identifies the orders with a high amount of quantity and triggers the business event. How it does this? In the middle of the code we have notebook utils business event publish. We specify the business event being published and we send the data of the business event. This is the action of publishing a business event from inside the processing, from inside an ingestion, for example. This is what this notebook is doing, is publishing the business event from inside the ingestion. Let's execute. Let's take a look on the result. And here we can see that from the ingestion, one event was triggered. As a result, we'll be able to see this event recorded inside the event house. And here is our event registered inside our event house. Let's take a look on the information and we can see the information sent by the notebook, all the information related to the event. We can also take a look on the event on the business event. Let's take a look on real time, business event. Let's see our event. We can see two tabs, one for publishers and one for consumers. We can see the events published. One event was published. And who published? A notebook. A notebook published this event. It shows me who is the publisher and the consumers. It doesn't count as delivery the event consumed by the event house, but it shows the event house as one of the consumers. In this way, we have an architecture to define business events over our data pipelines and trigger actions from these business events. Thank you very much for watching and see you next week.